What are most fitness programs designed for? They're designed to get you freaking abs, but quite frankly, who gives a you-know-what if you're always injured, you've got no energy, and you can't actually go play with your kids? So I help dads, and no, I don't just help them look better for Instagram photos, and no, I don't just help them fit better in their clothes and build their confidence. I help them train for life so you can accomplish all those things, but also do the stuff that matters. Lead your home and play with your kids. So if you've been sold on the idea of that results equals having abs, but for guys in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s, that's not the full picture and really what even matters. Because life demands so much more of us, does it not? It requires balance. It requires resilience, confidence, and leadership. And it's all about what stage you're at in life, right? When I was competing in high-level sports, for me, it was all about performance. Now, as most people that don't compete for performance, which this is a great thing because it takes away from a lot of the pressure of the aesthetics component. You're always striving to get better. You're always striving to get faster. You're always striving to get stronger. But for many of the guys that I talk to, it's not just about feeling stronger, getting better in the gym, because what they really care about is what? Losing muscle, losing body fat. So I hear it all the time over and over again. Well, I'm going to the gym several days a week. Yeah, I'm getting stronger. Yeah, I can do more things and I feel good, but the freaking flubber ain't moving. And it still leads you to feeling like you're capable of doing more, and all this energy and effort that you're putting into it leaves you mentally drained, leaves you physically hurt, sore, and burnt out because you're trying so much in the gym, but you're not actually seeing the results. And guess what happens when you don't see results? Momentum, consistency, all these things go down. And it's kind of like buying a sports car. Like, it looks great on the outside. I'm going to the gym, I'm doing the stuff, like I'm doing it all, but the engine barely runs. And looks and the performance side of things is great, but you also want to look the freaking part. You want to feel good and not have everything be so tight around your waist. You want to look good in the photos. You don't want to continue to avoid the mirrors or put your head down whenever you're actually talking to somebody. You want to feel better. So I've got it broken down into a couple of different things when you talk about how do I become more confident, how do I get my energy back, and how do I get to be able to do the things that I want to do. Maybe you do want to run a 5K, 10K, half marathon. These things here, strength, endurance, recovery, and the big daddy-o mindset. What is strength going to do for you in your life? Well, it's going to make you in your body have body recomposition. You're going to build muscle. Building muscle is going to, when it comes to the nutrition side of things, it's going to increase your BMR. If you have an increased BMR, which is your basic metabolic rate, you guys hear this all the time. It's like, well, in order for me to lose weight, what do I have to do? Well, I have to eat less calories than whatever I burn. Well, the problem is for many of you, when you don't focus on strength and hypertrophy and building muscle, your BMR is so low. In order for you to lose weight, you have to eat way down here. Now, when you focus on strength training and you focus on building muscle and compound lifts and time under tension and unilateral exercises and contrast training and all these different things that take place in strength training, guess what happens? Well, now your BMR begins to raise. And guess what happens when your BMR raises? Your metabolic rate raises. You don't have to eat way down here. You get to eat up here, but you're still burning calories up here. And guess what happens when you get stronger and you build more muscle? Your metabolism goes up and you get to eat more. So you're not having to starve yourself down here like what too many people do wrong. You switch this and you focus on strength training. So that is a huge element to body recomposition. Having your body look lean, having it look muscular, as opposed to starving yourself, turning into a skinny little bird and say, I work out all the time, and you're not eating and you get really skinny and you get flabby. You don't want that. When it comes to the endurance side of things, I talked about this pretty extensively in yesterday's video. I'm not going to talk about the difference in zone 2 and interval training and all that stuff, but endurance gives you the capacity to freaking go play ball with your kids. You want to race? Put them in a foot race. You want to walk up the stairs? You want to play ball? You want to play soccer? Like, let's get out and play with them, and focusing on improving your endurance on a life skill set. It's going to allow you to go do those things, play the game, get back to the sport. That's important. When we talk about recovery, I know that most of you guys spend 0 time stretching, 0 time building resilience in your joints. So we need to take that stuff serious. We need to talk about your joints. We need to talk about your back, your knees, your hips, all of these different things, your shoulders. Like, this stuff matters, because just like from a joint perspective, same thing when you're compromising your sleep, you're messing with your hormones, you're messing with your testosterone, you're messing with your ability to recover, because who gives a damn if you're spending all this time training, you're prioritizing your protein, But if you're not actually recovering and sleeping, quality sleep, your hormones are messing up the whole thing. So guess what happens? None of this actually comes together, because you would be doing it. Strength, endurance, I'm working out. Yeah, I'm sleeping. I don't sleep great. You know, blah, 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 blah. Guess what is the missing component with all this? And if I get rid of this right here, it's remaining right there. Your mindset. What does having a good mindset does? Well, number one, it's the identity of who you believe you are capable of. What do you believe in? Do you believe in yourself that you actually can do this? Well, it also builds discipline. And guess what discipline actually creates? Discipline creates freedom. So if you are more disciplined, you will have more freedom. Identity, discipline will lead to consistency, and I've talked about this in other videos, but typically if you don't have the strongest mindset to do it on your own, you got to have something that's actually going to help hold you accountable. You got to be a part of a community group. You got to have a coach. You got to have somebody that's going to hold you to a higher standard, because you're not doing it for yourself, and that's okay. It's not your problem. It's not your fault, but it is your problem to actually take ownership of it. And the old six-pack is just a byproduct of you doing these things well. Like one of my guys who initially came to me, he wanted to lose 20 pounds. Well, once he lost the 20 pounds, once he lost 10 pounds, it quickly shifted to the weight doesn't even really matter. What I want to be able to have is the energy to play with my kids, to be the leader in my home, to show the example of what health and fitness and strength and training looks like, because there's so many elements of it. It's working out. What does that do for your kids? It improves their confidence, how they feel about themselves, their self-worth. What else is working out do? Well, if you're taking your nutrition seriously, you're putting good stuff in your body. If you're putting good stuff in your body, you feel better. You have better clarity. You feel better about your choices. You sleep better. Your digestion's better. And when we're talking about our actual legacy of what we're leaving behind, what are you showing the example to your kids? Like the stuff that you're doing actually matters. And that's why I built the hybrid blueprint system, because most guys initially come to thinking that they want to have the six-pack and they want to have the aesthetic side of things, but you're just completely guessing, and there's no structure, there's no system, and that's what you need. You need to have a system to where you are able to just show up, check the boxes. This is what I do. Hey, you know what? I'm having trouble here. Let me ask a question. How can I fix this? How can I get support with that? Oh, dude, you just got to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, what is that? What happens after I do X, Y, and Z? Did it help you move in the right direction, or did it not change anything? Because if you're not measuring this stuff, if you're just totally guessing with your workouts, guess what happens? Results stay the same or go down. That's not what you want. So if you're tired of just chasing abs and you want to actually have a performance-proven system that gives you abs potentially, but also has you feeling better, because when you start feeling better, everything else kind of clicks. I'm in the middle of a 30-day hybrid blueprint series where I'm talking about everything that I can think of hybrid training related. So if you've got questions, or if you haven't watched some of the other videos, first off, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can see all the different stuff. And more importantly, I've got a list of my own videos that I'm going to talk about different topics: nutrition, sleep, performance, running, blah, 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 blah. Comment down below with some of the questions that you have. So throughout this series, I've got some content to create. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll check you out.